Today, with the release of Fortnite Chapter 4 Season 3, we've gotten a ton of new augments and also a ton of augments that are returning from past seasons. So today, I'll be covering literally every augment that's currently in the game in Fortnite Chapter 4 Season 3. Let's dive right into the video. Now, before we start, I just want to say, sorry if my voice sounds weird. I'm a little bit congested right now, so I just want to get that out of the way before we start. But diving right into it, the first one we have is Primal Companion. This is a new one that is really good for the wild areas of the map, as you gain thermal vision and regenerate health while riding animals. Of course, with the new raptors being added to the game, you will now be riding animals a lot more, which therefore means that you'll be getting a lot more thermal vision and of course regenerating health a lot more. Unfortunately, this doesn't mention anything about shields, so you will not be regenerating any sort of shields with this augment, but the thermal vision in of itself is probably going to be really worth it. Next up, we have Wild Wasp weaponry. Now for this one, you receive some Wild Wasp jars and gain an additional one with every elimination. Now, in order to understand this augment, you need to know about the new item, the Wild Wasp jar, which is effectively like the Firefly jars from last season, except way more powerful. When you throw one of these jars at an opponent, the Wild Wasps inside of it will begin to chase that enemy opponent, dealing damage over time until that enemy opponent jumps in water or slides in mud. So it's a really good item if they're not near either of those two things, and this augment is incredibly good because, you know, it gives you some of those Wild Wasp jars, and also every time you get a kill, you're going to get another one. So this is honestly a pretty decent augment that I could see getting taken a lot. For the next one, we have Sprint Lines. Gain a slap effect upon using grind vines, grind rails, zip lines, or ascenders. So these things are going to be everywhere around the map. So this is honestly a really good effect if you want to traverse everywhere super quickly, just because grind rails are going to be in the mega city areas. Of course, all the spots that we saw them last season. The grind vines are going to be covering the new wild POI, and then zip lines and ascenders will be covering the other areas of the map that you won't be able to reach without building, because of course zero build still exists, so we're going to need ways to get up to those areas that we typically can't get to if you're unable to build. So basically, overall, this augment is really good this season, just because of how many of these things there actually are. Of course, the slap effect will just allow you to sprint infinitely while you have it, so honestly a really nice thing to be able to get around the map super quickly. Next up, we have Shell Slide, and this will gain shotgun shells while sliding. So this is the same thing as the medium ammo one that we had last season, except now of course it's for shotgun shells. So honestly, I think this will be a really strong augment. Of course, anything that's going to give you free ammo is going to be pretty strong in my eyes, so overall I would definitely recommend picking up this augment. It is really good and it's going to give you a ton of free shotgun ammo. That being said, you're also not typically running that low on shotgun ammo because you're typically not spamming your shotgun that much, so we may have to see the actual usages of this in the future, but as of the moment, I would say pick it up, play with it, see how it feels, and then for now, just try and test it out. The next new augment that we got is Swift Shotgun Reload. Again, another shotgun one. This one is literally just your shotguns will reload faster. This one is amazing to have, especially during mid-fight, because if your shotgun runs out of ammo and both of you are just staring there reloading your shotgun, you're going to be the one who gets your shotgun reload off first. I think this one's going to be better for zero build mode, because of course in build mode you could just kind of build a box and then reload your shotgun anyways. So honestly, I don't think it's going to be that useful for build mode, but in zero build mode, I would definitely recommend picking up this augment. Now, our next augment is the Reckless Rifle Reload. Your assault rifles will reload significantly faster when the magazine is empty. Again, I think this one's cool, but I don't really see that much usage for it, solely due to the fact that your AR is typically going to be a mid-range weapon. Unless you're using it as a replacement for an SMG, I would not recommend picking this up, because that faster reload time typically doesn't matter that much. That being said, if you're using an AR as your secondary, or effectively your SMG, then yeah, I'd say try it out, because you're going to get a quicker reload, which means that if you're in a close range encounter and you do need to reload mid-fight, especially in zero build, this may give you that edge up in the fight that wins you it overall. Now, for our final new augment of this season, we have Medium Ammo Acquired. This one is really cool. You instantly gain medium ammo, so I'm guessing this is going to be around 60 medium ammo. That would honestly just be my best guess. And then you gain more when you open containers. So basically, when you're opening any form of ammo boxes or chests, you're going to get extra medium ammo on top of what you would typically get. So this one is really really good if you have an AR that you want to spam. Let's say you have like a legendary or even a mythic AR. I would definitely recommend getting this augment, just because if you have an item that you need medium ammo for and you're going to be using a lot of it, then this one is going to help you out a ton. Now, in addition to all of these new augments, we are going to be getting a ton of old augments returning. To start it off, we have Traversal Warrior. This one used to be Rail Warrior, but is now Traversal Warrior. This one is literally just regenerate health and partial shield while on grind rails or zip lines. And now also, in addition to that, of course, it is also going to be the grind vines. For the next one, we have Aquatic Warrior is returning. Move faster and regenerate health and partial shields while swimming, except while in the storm. Of course, you guys already know how this one functions. The next one that we have is Light Fingers. Weapons using light ammo reload faster. The next one is First Assault. The first bullet in the magazine of your assault rifle deals bonus damage. Again, that's always a nice one to have. Bloodhound. Enemies hit by your marksman rifle or bow shots are marked for a brief duration. This one is going to be extra good this season because of the new thermal DMR that has been added to the game. Next up, we have Steady Hands. Marksman rifles have reduced recoil. Again, going to be really good with the new addition of the thermal DMR. Then we have the SMG sign-off. The last 3 bullets of your SMG magazine deal bonus damage. Honestly, this one's not too bad because of the new combat SMG that's been added to the game. I'll have a whole video covering the new loot pile in the new season, but do just know there is a new SMG in game, or technically it's an old SMG that's just been unvaulted, but we now have the combat SMG, so this one will pair really nicely with that. The exotic grab bag one, I love this augment. I always take it whenever I see it, solely due to the fact that the heisted exotic weapons are really overpowered. After that, we have Soaring Sprints. Jump much higher with lower gravity while sprinting. This one is always incredibly fun to have, especially if you're trying to do some meme strategy like skybasing, because you can just start sprinting and not take fall damage. It's really good, especially in build fights if you need to get down from the top. Next up, we have Mythic Munition. This one will literally just give you a Mythic Tactical Pistol. Honestly, a pretty good augment. The next one, Keymaster. Grants 2 keys for opening hollow chests. This one is really good because, having 2 keys in your inventory to open hollow chests is never going to be a bad thing. So honestly, this one is nice, but there are other augments in the game that typically have better rewards. So if you have the option between the exotic grab bag and the Keymaster, I would recommend the exotic grab bag every day of the week, but this is still a good one to pick up. The next one we have is Rarity Check. You gain Siphon with common or uncommon weapons. This one's going to be really good for competitive game modes because, as you guys probably know, Siphon's been removed from competitive. So having this back in the game will honestly be nice if you're carrying around a common or uncommon weapon. The next one that we have is Shotgun Striker. Again, shotguns give Siphon on hits against players. Really good for competitive now with the lack of Siphon that is currently in the game. So those are all of the augments that are returning in Chapter 4, Season 3, all of the new augments that we're going to be seeing, everything covered in one nice video for all of you guys. If you guys did enjoy this video or find it helpful, then please consider leaving a like on it and subscribing to the channel, as that would help me out a ton. I hope you guys all have an amazing day, and I will see you guys in the next one.